How goes it, card fighters? Gleaming Garmor here, and today I want to talk about a deck from VBT10 that people are widely ignoring VBT11 actually, that people have kind of been ignoring, sleeping on really hard ever since they started getting revealed, and that is Blau. Now, if you thought any of the Nova Grappler stuff was good this set, it was Blau. Victor has a lot of very large restanding rear guards, and then swings for a piddly 12 in its center column, and that's nothing. But Blau is a deck that has many powerful restandable rear guards, as well as very, very strong Vanguard swings and a restanding Vanguard. Let's talk about the Blau cards on their own for a bit, okay? So first of all, we've got Blau Younger. Blau Younger is a grade 0 starter that has no tech that's any different from any of the other starters, but we need to play Blau Younger in this deck because of our first grade 1, Blau Panzer. Blau Panzer, when you ride it over Blau Younger, lets you check the top 5 cards of your deck to add 1 Blau and then shuffle your deck. And when you place them on rear guard, you can drop a trigger to search your deck for a grade 3 Blau unit and add it to your hand. And then there is Morgenrot, which is not a Blau card, but it is Blau support. At the end of your turn, you can retire this unit from your rear guard circle, then return 1 of your Blau rear guards back to your hand. And Morgenrot matters because of a certain grade 3 we'll be getting into later. Next, on grade 2s, we've got Blau Kluger himself. When placed on Vanguard, counterblast 1, check the top 7 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Blau card from among them and add it to your hand and shuffle it back. And on rear, after it attacks period, if you have a Blau Vanguard, put Blau Kluger into your soul and draw 1 card. And then the final 2 Blau cards we have to talk about are Stern and Galaxy Blau Kluger. Stern Blau Kluger says, on Vanguard, if you have grade 2 Blau Kluger in your soul, all of your grade 3 Blaus get plus 10,000 power. And at the end of the battle that it attacked, discard 2 cards to choose a Galaxy Blau Kluger on rear, bind it, ride it, it gets drive -1. And the reason you're binding it is so that it removes things like trigger effects from it. What is Galaxy Blau Kluger, though? Galaxy is another grade 3 with a continuous ability that is identical to Stern Blau Kluger's continuous. And then, when it attacks, counterblast 1, call a Stern Blau Kluger from your soul to rear guard. And the Stern Blau Kluger will be in your soul because you've just superior ridden over it. And when you ride upon it with a Blau unit, you can call Galaxy to rear guard. This is why Morgenrot is in the deck. So that you ride into Stern, call Galaxy, attack Stern, superior ride Galaxy, attack Galaxy, call Stern, attack Stern, return Stern to hand with Morgenrot. But let's talk about some of the other pieces that I chose to play in this deck, because it can't all be Blau cards. First of all, we're playing Screamin' and Dancin' Announcer Shout. I love that card's name so much, because Shout is just a way to turbo through your deck and get pieces really, really fast. You rest it, you reveal the top cards of both players' decks, compare their grade, and the player with the higher grade draws, the player with the lower grade soul charges, and if they're the same, you both draw. Then we also play Drill the Duel. Drill the Duel actually is a Battledore skill that you can add to any unit by boosting it. You just have to discard a card from your hand. Now let's talk about, we play Brutal Jack, which cannot stand during your stand phase, but is an absolutely massive 19, just to start with. And then on top of that, we play Cool Hank on Vanguard Circle in case we have to ride something that isn't Blau Kluger. We still have Cool Hank. You can Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. And on rear guard, on attack, drop a card to stand a rear guard. So you can use this before attacking with your Vanguard to restand things like Galaxy Blau Kluger, attack with it a second time for 22. or you can use it. You can use it to restand Brutal Jack, as it cannot stand during your stand phase. To go with Brutal Jack and Shout, we also play 3 copies of the Clear Frame order. You choose one of your units. You choose one of your circles, and if there's a locked card on it, you unlock it. And if there's a rear guard on it, you stand it. And if you unlocked or stood, you draw a card. So we use Clear Frame to either reuse Shout or restand Brutal Jack without having to rest any cards. And then it also draws us another card, so it digs us further into the deck once again. That's enough theory. We're gonna go look at some replays I have. See you guys on the other side. So our first replay is between me and a Victor player, actually. So we're going to take a look at Victor, which is the VR for this set for Nova Grappler, and we're going to see how this dinky little budget triple rare and below variant compares against it. I was honestly a little bit confused at this person's deck choices. I have not actually seen anybody play Jet Riser in literally years. But he opens on Arashid, which we chose not to play in our deck, as we have more than enough means to make sure that we see our Blau cards. Also, it's very strange that he just begins playing before I can finish mulliganing, but okay. But he opens on Arashid. We open Blau Panzer, and we actually draw a Blau Kluger, and use Panzer's skill, checking top 5 to add Stern Blau Kluger. So now we have our entire ride chain complete, and we're just looking for Galaxy. We check a crit on turn 1, which is very nice. But it also appears that this person's Victor list is a front-based list, as they are playing the Starfighter Silver Fist. It's possible that they're playing other pieces of the front trigger engine, but I cannot confirm. He rides into Kick Kick Typhoon and immediately attacks. And we decide to no guard that because we want to use Blau Kluger's skill to search the top 7 cards of our deck. So we draw a heal, we ride Blau Kluger, activate its skill. We do see Galaxy and add it to our hand. And Galaxy, going to our hand, completes our play. So we call down the second Blau Kluger to go ahead and draw another card. And then we also have Drill the Duel, so that if we want, so that we can provide a little bit of pressure later on in the game. We check the Twin Blader because we are good at this game. We are just absolutely excellent at this game, pushing our opponent to 4 damage before the grade 3 ride. And they don't even see Victor. Instead, they ride Beastdeity Illuminal Dragon. And Illuminal is a very powerful card in that it provides pressure to your opponent. You already have the on-hit pressure of when you get hit, take a damage. But then you have the if it does not hit pressure of a restand. And it honestly seems like a much better play to just take the hit. Just take the hit early on, if possible, to potentially check damage triggers and block out these later attacks. So I just take 2 damage. He swings with Illuminal, and I throw down a heal trigger to 2 to pass him. Of course, he checks Illuminal Dragon and Arashid, so bad news for him. My turn comes around, I ride Stern Blau Kluger, get an Excel 2, because we want to keep drawing cards. We're drawing so many cards. Do you see how big our hand is? Now we can just start playing cards. We play Galaxy, we play Blau Panzer, we discard a trigger for Blau Panzer. I made a mistake here. I had to discard a trigger for Blau Panzer. I'm sorry. But I do call Morgenrot, Drill the Duel, and Stern Blau Kluger, and all of the front row Blau grade 3s gain plus 10k. So now we've got 2 attacks that are powered up by Drill the Duel. of course, our opponent checks a front, but luckily, because this is an Excel deck running with Excel numbers, we don't have to worry about not being able to hit. Instead, we swing Stern, check a crit. I believe we put all the power, we put all the effects on the rearguard Stern, because the rearguard Stern has the Drill the Duel attached to it. Yep. And then we check Galaxy. Now we have to discard 2 cards. So I believe we discard Galaxy. Yeah, we discard Galaxy and a trigger. Or we discard the Clear Frame and a trigger to ride Galaxy, get an XL2. And then we take our draw off the XL2, and we get Cool Hank. And of course, on attack, we get to call out the Stern Blau Kluger. Our opponent perfect guards us and drops Arashid to meet the Battle Door requirement. We drive check Blau Panzer. Nothing important there. But then we attack with Stern. Also, such a shame. The Morgenrot Blau Panzer column is too small to actually hit my opponent, but the last Stern Blau Kluger comes in for the kill. Our next game was against Rising Nova. Now, we see their starter come down. We check out their starting hand. They've drawn 2 Acrobat Verities, Ambush Dexter, and Rising Nova. Let's see what they put back. So they put back a Verity, kept the Dexter, and drew Rorna. Meanwhile, on our side, we drew all of the Blau combo pieces. This, unfortunately, will actually be a little bit of a problem later on. We do throw back the Galaxy Blau Kluger because we are digging for more defensive options in the early game. Of course, our opponent rides into Verity to try and check top 5 for a grade 3 because despite having 3 grade 3s in hand already, that's not enough for Rising. That's never enough. Instead, they want to also see their Spiking Cyclone in addition to their Rising and Bull Spike. So then we draw into our heal trigger, call down Panzer, check top 5 for a Blau card. Or actually, I checked too many cards, I think, but we whiffed. It was either this game or next game. Yeah, I checked too many cards, but we whiffed anyway. The good news, however, is that we did draw Screamin' and Dancin' Announcer Shout, and we can start looking through our deck. So we slam that shuffle button, and then we call down Shout, rest Shout, reveal the top card of our deck, which is Stern Blau Kluger. It's a grade 3, so there's no way that they're beating this out. Now, the unfortunate thing for Nova Grappler is that Spike Brothers is one of the decks that benefits regardless of if they draw the card or they soul charge it, because they have an awful lot of soul they need to use. So perhaps it wasn't in my best interest to use Shout at all this game. We do drive check the Brutal Jack though, that's nice. And they drive check Cure Girl, or they damage check Cure Girl Marilyn to draw themselves a card. Ride Rorna, call Rorna. Call out Juggernaut Maximum, which I was surprised to see a Rising deck playing Juggernaut Maximum, because I assumed that they would dedicate all of their grade 3 slots to the very important copyable grade 3s. But Juggernaut Maximum is still a pretty solid card, all things considered. So yeah, I take this. Having checked that crit, I go, okay, I don't want to waste this defensive trigger. So I guard the Juggernaut Maximum, stand, draw, ride into Blau Kluger, reveal top card. It is unfortunately Blau Panzer. We are almost guaranteed to add that to Soul if they don't reveal a trigger. Now, what did they reveal off of Shout? Oh, I remember when I was playing this match, it kind of took my opponent to catch on a while to what Shout even did, because I would be like, rest Shout, reveal a card, and then they wouldn't follow suit until I was like, hey, please reveal a card. Then we call Brutal Jack because we need the power. And I get it in my head, maybe I want to Counterblast deny them so that they can't use Aurora next turn and add the grade 3 that they want. Because they already have Bull Spike, so I don't want to give them any more. But we do check Brutal Jack, so we don't even have to worry about putting the power on another rearguard or anything. They get into their Rising Nova. They grab both Force 1 and Force 2, slapping it on the circle in front of Rorna, where they will then call down the Bull Spike. And Breach Spurt, I've never read this card. On attack, put a normal unit from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck. Until the end of that battle, your opponent must intercept. Put this unit in your soul and draw a card. Interesting. So they attack with Bull Spike. Bull Spike has the 2 crits, so I do decide to take the attack because I'm intending to search for a damage trigger. We check Cool Hank and Blaupanzer. Now with the ability copied from Bull Spike, the force markers move over to Rising Nova. I no guard it because I really don't have anything to guard with, as you can see. They check Marilyn again because this opponent is legendary, I guess. They're just gonna keep drawing cards. I check Drill the Duel, and is this one a damage trigger? This one is a heal trigger. So I check the heal, and I recover 1 damage, and also give the power to my Vanguard to help me defend against Breach Spurt, because it will be attacking for 30 with 2 crits. And of course, if I let that hit me, it's over. I use my Quick Shield to gain power, intercept with Brutal Jack, and then guard with the Brutal Jack from hand. Then he uses Bull Spike to retire Shout. I ride Blau Kluger, draw another Shout, draw another Blau Kluger. Call down Drill the Duel. Although I do believe I did this in the wrong column, because I should have called it to this open column here, and instead been able to put either Kluger or Stern Blau Kluger in front of it. But instead, what I have to resort to is or no, the Drill the Duel is the reveal off of Shout. My bad. But I sit here for a minute. As I have to tell him, hey, can you please reveal the top card for Shout? Please? And then he finally reveals it. It's Silence Joker, so I do get the Drill the Duel to hand. I activate Clear Frame to restand Shout and draw a card, and I draw into Extreme Battler Break Pass, who I chose to play as this deck needs that extra offensive push. I played 2 Break Pass and 2 Draw PGs. So then I call down Blau Kluger. I call down Stern Blau Kluger. I believe, yes, I call down the other Blau Kluger to draw more cards, as we have a problem, and that is we don't have Galaxy Blau Kluger. So then we use Stern to swing into the Bull Spike. We use Blau Kluger to swing into Vanguard, send it to Soul, and draw. That's some good shield value right there. We use Blau Kluger to swing at Van. Spiking Cyclone comes down. I considered damage denying to prevent them from activating Rorna since I saw them at it the other day, or the other turn. The other day? What? But that didn't work out. So instead, I use Stern. I attack with it. I check Cool Hank. And the Break Pass. Or no, I check Cool Hank and Clear Frame. And I pass turn because we don't have Galaxy. So this is one of the weaknesses of the Blau deck, is that if you don't see the Galaxy Blau Kluger, then you do have a major problem on your hands. So they use Rorna, call down Spiking Cyclone, Bull Spike, and Wonder Boy. Use Wonder Boy to put the Bull Spike back at the bottom of the deck. And Houston, we have a problem. They use the Rising Nova to copy both the Bull Spike and the Spiking Cyclone. And this absolutely massive attack comes in, so I have to throw Break Pass down in the way. You are seeing exactly the scenario in which you would use a 30k Sentinel, which is right now to one-card guard the Spiking Cyclone. Luckily, because he didn't take that extra damage, which I don't know why he wouldn't have taken the extra damage, because it would have just made him kill me better. But because he didn't use that extra damage to his advantage, he instead cannot restand. Rising Nova comes in for a very large attack, and I no-guard it because I really don't have any answer to it at this point. And if he checks a crit, then, like, he checks a crit. Yeah, he checks a crit. And here we go. The first damage check is a heal trigger, actually. And upon checking that heal, I am feeling a little bit reinvigorated. I feel like maybe we have a shot here if I can just pull another heal. Second check is a heal trigger. So we recover again, and then I still have to take that third damage. But at this point, we are just digging for Galaxy Blaukluger as hard as possible, because there's no way we win this if we don't get Galaxy. So we have basically 2 cards to check with if we can guard Bull Spike's attack, which we do thanks to Break Pass. So we ride into Stern to get the draw. We don't draw Galaxy. We use Shout, revealing Blaukluger, which unfortunately is not Galaxy Blaukluger. It's so sad. Will my opponent reveal for Shout in this century? Find out next time. Yeah, see what I have to put up with. I have to wait, and then I have to go, please reveal your top card. Since it's Rorna, we both add the grade 2. So then I use Clear Frame, stand Shout, and it's not Galaxy. So I consider using Shout again. And I honestly can't remember if I go through with it or not. It looks like I don't. Instead, I call Cool Hank and Blaukluger. And then do I perhaps move Shout up and call Drill? No, I just start swinging. I swing with Blaukluger, I swing with Cool Hank. Cool Hank skill, discard a Drill the duel to restand Blaukluger. And I did this restand to threaten my opponent. Threaten my opponent that if they guarded the Cyclone, I would just simply attack it again. Unfortunately, there is Galaxy Blaukluger just a little bit too late. And we pass turn because I don't want them to use Rorna to call more grade 3s. They ride Rising again, getting another Force 1 and Force 2, this time smacking them straight down into the Vanguard circle. Using Wonder Boy to return Spiking Cyclone to the bottom of the deck, calling Rising Nova, and also another Wonder Boy. Switching Wonder Boy with Rorna, putting Bull Spike on the bottom of the deck, and at this point, it doesn't look like there's very much I can do. So my opponent swings for an absolutely massive 43,000. 2 crits makes me 42,000, so I have to intercept with Blaukluger. This Vanguard attack comes down, and I have no other choice but to pass it. Otherwise, I can't guard the Rorna and Wonder Boy column. So the first check. And the second check is a heal trigger. That is game. So this also shows off some of the weaknesses of the Blau deck as well, in that if you don't end up with your Galaxy Blaukluger, you don't really have as explosive as plays as you would like, because you still have access to a 22 Vanguard column, and then Cool Hank, and that, or you still have access to the 22 Vanguard column, Cool Hank, and then like whatever you restand with Cool Hank, but you don't have the Vanguard restand. You don't have the additional rearguard call in the middle of the battle phase. It's just missing a lot if you are missing Galaxy. So watch out for that. Now, our final match for the night is against Big Belly. So I wish him a good luck, have fun. We open our hand and not a Blau card in sight. So we put back most of this hand. I believe we also we put back everything but the Shout, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we keep the Shout to dig for more cards. We do not draw Panzer. We draw Panzer now, but it's a little bit too late. So we have to ride Shout. Our opponent rides into Bushbeck, discards their Quick Shield to draw another card, and then calls down Mini Belly. Let's take a look at how they opened. They opened with 2 Big Belly, 1 Hamdon, 1 Flow Panther, 1 Fossa, and then another Bushbeck. So they add Hamdon to discard Hamdon just to thin out their deck. We take this attack because I want to thin my deck out and see Blaukluger if possible. So we damage check Brutal Jack. Then this comes through, we check a heal, which is nice, because I do not appreciate being at 2 damage on my very first turn, you know? We go into ride phase, we call down Panzer, we swing, and then we swing with Vanguard. And I believe that's a hit. They did not guard this. So we use Cool Hank to Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. So we Soul Blast Shout, and we draw. And if we can see Blaukluger anytime soon, then we can just put it into Soul with its on-attack skill. Our opponent is a Lucky Duck who sees Flow Panther off of Fossa. Luckily, we damage check Red Lightning to help with our guard. So they pass the turn. We ride into Stern Blaukluger, and we do draw Blaukluger. Calling Galaxy, calling the grade 2, attacking with the grade 2 and hitting. Blaukluger's skill goes into Soul, we draw a card, and then Stern gives all the grade 3s plus 10. So now we attack with Galaxy into Flow Panther. It gets guarded. Or no, they just let it go. We use Stern to attack the Vanguard, checking Shout and Stern. And then we use Stern Blaukluger's skill, discarding 2 to ride Galaxy, draw, call Stern, and we drive check a crit. We attack, they check another crit, and they are already at 5 damage on their grade 3 ride. Riding into Big Belly, they're starting to make their board. This could be a problem for us. So now they have the Hamdon. They've used Hamdon to place a grade 3 into their soul, so Big Belly can restand all rear guards with 20,000 power or more. Damage checking Twin Blader. That's going to be a big help to us in maintaining our hand and killing our opponent. So then the Spool Mary comes down. I underguard that. I have to drop more because I had been looking away and I forgot that Spool Mary was the second attack and not the first. I thought Hamdon was attacking. So yeah, no, I need more, so I don't do that. I actually just check the other Twin Blader we're playing because I am great at this game. Big Belly attacks and their board restands. So we guard Big Belly no pass thanks to our damage triggers. They check a crit and they slap it on they slap the crit on Flow Panther and the power on Hamdon. They check a heal, and that means we absolutely have to guard Flow Panther. Hamdon attacks. We guard with Morganrot because we're not going to be using that this game as we already have another Stern in hand. And then Shining Lady comes and attacks, or comes and guards, and they draw 3 cards. We ride Stern, drop our Excel marker, call down 3 Galaxy Blauklugers and a Cool Hank, call Drill the Duel behind the Vanguard. All of the Blauklugers gain 10,000 power. Attack with Galaxy, attack with Cool Hank, restand Galaxy, and that is the game. So I hope that the 3 games that we showed you today give you an idea of what the Blaukluger deck can and cannot do, as it has a multitude of strengths, but also a multitude of weaknesses. It has these very powerful 22k plus attackers that you can just throw out multiple of. In addition, you can just place boosters behind them if you need to. It has access to Cool Hank to restand. It also has access to Kick Typhoon if you want to use a counterblast cost instead. It has a restanding Vanguard. It has a mid-battle phase call, but it relies on having 3 pieces in particular: Blaukluger in Soul, Stern Blaukluger on Vanguard, and Galaxy Blaukluger on Rearguard. So if you keep these things in mind and you optimize your deck to assure that these conditions are met, then I'm sure you can have a good time with Blau. While we're here, I want to give a shout out to Winning Image, whose favorite deck is Blau, who absolutely popped off when he found out that there were going to be Blau cards in this new set. And honestly, if it weren't for like listening to a bit of his theory crafting when the cards were first revealed, I probably wouldn't have been nearly as excited to make this video. Anyway, I've been Gleaming Garmor. See you guys some other time.